All right, today we're gonna do another shop tour. End of the year, kind of winding things down. Projects are building up and they're gonna have to get out the door, so we just really haven't had a lot of time to do videos, but there's some really cool stuff in there you gotta see.
Yep.
And you remember the old single cab?
Gonna be back in the shop soon.
Real soon, beginning of the year, real soon. All right, on the way in, there's also a Morse Minor.
Morse Minor.
I always mix it up with I want to say Manx. I don't know why.
I grew up with this truck. My dad bought this when I was 6 months old.
That's cool.
And he's had it forever.
And now you're driving it.
Now, yeah, it's on the road.
All right, we're working our way back to the Volkswagens, but first we gotta get through some of these other cars, and this is a '69 Camaro.
Yep.
And basically, it was built by someone else, and they brought it here to...
Bump steer issues.
Yeah, bad.
Bad bump steer issues, yeah.
They brought it here to fix what the other shops have screwed up, and this one amazes me.
Yes.
They had a U-joint into a rag joint, which
off the steering column.
Which just doesn't work.
You can't do that.
Garbage. And then they built this thing. Can you, I don't know if you can see that. It's a bolt kind of welded in there.
Yeah, it's actually a bolt cut off and sanded down to double D, and holes are 2 different sizes and slotted, and it's not square.
It's not even centered in there. So I mean, so that means this thing was going like this when you're trying to steer the wheel. It's just
nothing to do with the bump steer, but it was an additional problem to all the steering problems it already had.
Ryan was out in the parking lot the other day with this thing, and he went back and forth the steering wheel. I swear the car was going like this, and I'm not exaggerating. It looked like a boat in the water.
I've never seen that happen.
So
it was whack.
If you need your stuff fixed, just bring it on to Demon Motorsports.
We can take care of it.
All right, we're working our way back to that thing.
I got to see what you did there.
Yeah, puns, very punny. This thing is, I don't know how to explain this.
It's the coolest thing I've ever built.
Ryan is a hydraulics guy, and he has been since the mini truck days, but this thing, it's nuts. It kind of went off the concept of the Bug in the Beetle, or the bus, where you can have a full suspension, excellent ride, and still have
instant adjustability.
Yeah.
What we did is use hydraulic cylinders to twist these cantilever arms, and these are coilovers. Springs aren't on them now, and I have spacers in here just to keep the coilovers in the middle of the ride because I don't have the weight of the truck on it yet. So basically, it just moves the top coilover mount up and down, raises them down. So it rides on coilovers. We can change the spring rate, we can change the shock valving, we can put electronic shocks in this thing, and we can make it ride like a Cadillac or a Lamborghini.
Let's see it move, and we'll do some close-ups of it too.
Just the test pump hooked up to it, so
look at that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. This watch linkage keeps it balanced left to right, so if you put all the weight on one side, you still ain't gonna lean down. You don't have to balance like you do air or anything either. It's just front and rear would be the only thing.
It's just like having a regular shocks in there.
Yeah.
And we gotta show the radiator. Let's go show the radiator.
No radiator up front, we can't hide that.
All right, so believe it or not, that's the radiator.
And the condenser.
Gotta have AC.
Florida.
So
yeah, not putting that up front and hiding our hydraulics. You actually can see that from the frame through the grill. So put everything down in here. The radiator sits at an angle. There's an angle up here with a electric fan down here, so it's forced air through that. It's like a tunnel, and there's scoops underneath of it. It's
weird.
It's weird.
But it's so cool because, cool, another pun.
Yeah.
People are gonna look at this and be like, where's the radiator? And it's gonna be actually underneath the truck.
It's a panel truck, so it's not like it's a pickup or something like that where you think that you could do that. So all this actually fits underneath there. The rockers sit on the ground, and this thing is, the chassis is just a way.
Fully fab frame, by the way. I mean, you could go out and buy an Art Morrison or something, and they're great, but when you're doing something like this, you just can't.
Yeah, no, this is a custom one-off. That's all Z06 drivetrain, the brakes and the A-arms and the engine, and 6-speed manual transaxle. We lengthened the torque tube. Everything is custom there. We're gonna run the exhaust underneath that tunnel down here, kind of like the way the Corvette was. I think that's gonna be really cool.
It's gonna be fun to drive.
It's 405 horsepower stock.
Nuts.
That'll work.
Let's get to a Volkswagen. And this is the Ghia pan from outside, and it's been Raptor lined, which we love to use.
It's the greatest stuff ever.
It's so easy to use and looks just like you took it to one of the big companies.
Yeah.
It holds up just about as well.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing like that. It just, the whole thing looks brand new, and we put new pans. This thing had a big tear in the side. I'm not really sure what was going on there, but it had all kinds of issues. These pans were terrible. One of the worst ones I've ever done. But we made them work.
That's how it goes when you're fabbing stuff.
Exactly.
You make it work.
You have to make the stuff work.
So look at the thing. Look at this wild thing.
It's a sweet thing right here.
This one's coming up soon. It's going to be a full hydro system. We're going to do a complete video how to start to finish.
This is way easier than a bus. So
yeah,
get it all on there.
we couldn't, unless we spent months of filming, we couldn't do that unless it was a bug or a thing. So.
Yeah.
Hey, let me grab the camera, show you guys, to give you a little perspective of where we shoot. There's the Ryan moving a light. That's our main work table. Let me back up here. Anyway, while we're here, let's just, look at, that's the normal shot. When we're shooting teach you, I don't know if the lighting's, well, there's a light on the yonder over there. Just kind of going over. This is the teach you how to do stuff table, which you've seen throughout our whole YouTube thing for the most part.
Right.
And everything gets done right here, and you can see actually these are.
This is the thing beam. Thing for that, the beam for that thing. This is actually a beam for another thing. Going out to Colorado. All the rest of the parts are in the office. Ready to go.
Let me grab the camera, do a little closer look.
There you go.
I like doing this. It's kind of fun. So, all right.
There we go.
There's the walking in front of the light. I'm breaking all the TV rules here.
This is just waiting for a cylinder, and then I can get this one welded together. But all the pieces are made, obviously, here. So
all the welding, and we've showed you how to do some of that welding. We've got more welding tips coming up soon as well. This is
done in a jig, so
a little bit of a jig here, and then these are the.
These will be the other ones.
These are the same tubes. Just
yeah. So I got all the rest of the pieces in the office done.
That's a Camaro part.
This is the steering bracket that we did not make for that car. That's
we don't even want to talk
steering.
About that. Get that. All right, let's move on.
All right.
All right, so we're gonna leave the workbench. We'll go back over here and then watch out, right?
I don't cut you off, man.
We'll just kind of give you an idea of where. So the bench is there. This is our primary lift. You're right in the light. Looks beautiful.
There we go.
And that's the bus that's getting the big wheels.
17's on that one with the 0 offset. This one's gonna get 15, like stock 15s, similar like my bus with this beauty, so we don't have to do all the narrowing and all that crazy stuff.
Yeah, it's like a, let me grab a light in my phone for video. And we'll
all fancy.
Show it around, so.
Yeah, we got the beam set up in here. This one's just 2 inches narrowed, but it's the hydraulic beam. It's already installed. We're working on the rear suspension and the spindles and stuff today, but rear suspension, we got our, we use this wire for to do an alignment and square it off the chassis and everything, so we can make sure the rotors are going to be squared in the back. Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting of course the
rack and pinion.
Rack and pinion.
All that stuff's in. The bevel box stuff's already been done. Made the mounts for the rack. The rack didn't show up today.
Let's go to the back.
Here.
And there's that string line.
So we can measure from here out. Make sure we get this perfect. We put our caster camber gauge like we talked about the last one. Get that squared up. These are still the 2 3/4 raised, but we don't have to narrow them like the bus over there. So we're trying to do them both at the same time. So trying to get this one caught up to where that one is, which it's almost there.
Yeah, and the disc brakes, like we were talking earlier, it would normally have drums on those.
On IRS.
On an IRS,
so. Beetle, so they're 4-lug, and by putting disc brakes on the rear is a quick, easy way to make it 5-lug without adapters. So, and you got disc brakes.
All right, so that's a quick shop tour. Just wanted to give you an idea of actually what goes on, and it's more than Volkswagen stuff, a lot of hot rod stuff. And
Yeah, do all kinds of stuff. Whatever it is, we gotta make it.
You normally see us sitting here, so I want to give you an idea of what's going on. There's 7 cars in the shop right now.
Right.
So anyway, if you haven't seen our Volkswagen stuff, or if you're new here, there's going to be a link right here to our YouTube playlist of all the Volkswagen stuff. It's really cool. Go watch it right now.
Yep, binge watch it all. Start from the beginning. You're gonna love them.
Binge, watch, and chill.
There you go.
Out.